Hey guys, welcome to Pause Contact, a show where we get to see another side of our local heroes. I'm your host, Pacheco, and today we are joined by Ted Gross and Philip Wheeler, both with the Dallas Police Department, both in homicide. Guys, thank y'all for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us, Louis.
Awesome. Ted's been with the department for 15 years. He's worked in patrol, property crimes, and currently in homicide. Philip's been with the department for 12 years and has worked in patrol, family violence, and currently homicide. Guys, I'm so glad y'all were agreed to this.
Yeah,
Of course, yes.
we'll see.
Where y'all from? Where are you from, Ted?
Originally, I'm from Wisconsin, small little town, like 1,500 people.
How did you end up here in Dallas?
When I was applying for police jobs, I was trying to get out of the snow, so I was applying to a bunch of major cities and wound up applying to Dallas and wound up getting hired, and here I am.
Philip, how'd you get over here? Where are you from originally? I'm sorry.
Originally from Glen Rose, Texas, which is about an hour and a half southwest of Dallas, super small town. Pretty much made my way to Dallas because they're the first department that hired me.
What is your fondest memory, Ted, when you were growing up?
So I grew up on a horse farm. My dad was big into the whole cowboy thing, so we had horses and cows and everything, but he and his friends built an outdoor arena because they did roping. And my brother and I would have to work the calf chute, so that's the chute where the cow goes in, and when they're ready, you hit a button and a thing takes off and they rope it. Well, my brother and I would sit on top of it, so if the steer didn't go, we'd have a cattle prod up there. Yeah. Which is a bad idea for two kids to be sitting up there because we'd be bored because there's nothing for us to do. So we're shocking the shit out of each other with the cattle prods. That was my best memory of our summers, is just getting shocked with that damn cattle prod.
Do you do any like rodeo stuff now, or is this just like been completely out?
Seeing that I'm a slender guy now, I wouldn't want to hurt the horse, but no, I definitely do miss riding horses and taking care of them and everything. I miss the farm life for sure. Yeah.
Fondest childhood memory.
It's kind of the same thing. I grew up on. We had a little acreage. We probably had 10 acres,
Okay.
and we were in a development. We were one of the first houses out there, so it was like 1,000 acres out there of undeveloped just land. And I got a 4-wheeler for Christmas one year when I was like 12. So I would just disappear on that thing for for the whole day, just going out fishing with my dogs, just disappear on the land, man. It was just a really good time.
Do you still have that 4-wheeler?
My parents got rid of it after I moved out of the house.
Ted, where did you go to college at?
So I went to a tech school back home. It was just a 2-year thing because I realized a lot of departments only require a 2-year school. So after I graduated high school, I was quick to want to get into law enforcement. So I got my tech school up in Manitowoc area. Not Manitowoc. I'm not related to Stephen Avery. Not related to that. Fucker.
What about you, Philip?
I went to school at Sam Houston State University.
Gotcha.
A little over 4 years. Took me a little bit longer than most, too.
The typical criminal justice degree?
No, so I started out doing professional golf management for a semester. It lasted a semester because I joined a fraternity also.
Yeah.
And the classes were pretty hard because it was like a business classes, but also like trying to manage golf courses, stuff like that. And it was a lot.
I've never met anybody with professional golf management.
It'd basically be like a head pro at a golf course or a teaching pro. But yeah, I wanted to party, so I decided I'll pick something a little easier, so I went with criminal justice.
Gotcha. Well, guys, we're going to dive into our first wingman.
Cheers.
Ted, did you always want to be a cop?
I did. I grew up with him. My dad was a cop for 42 years.
Yeah.
Forced into retirement because he got sick, but I grew up with it. Grew up knowing a lot of cops, and I loved it. Got take-home car every day. I mean, I'm pretty much living the life he did, minus being a lieutenant now. But I thought it was just one of the coolest things, hearing his story.
Do you see yourself staying for that old,
My goal was at least 30. They tell you in the academy if your career will fly by, and you never believe it when you're sitting in those seats in the academy. And it absolutely has flown by. I mean, looking back on my years of patrol, I can't believe how quickly it flew by. And I fucking miss patrol. I do. But there's definitely days I would trade it for what I'm doing now. But hands down, I wouldn't trade what I'm doing.
For sure. Philip, there's a few things you can do with criminal justice, but, saying, hey, I think I'm going to go into be a cop.
I mean, I've always been interested in law enforcement. I never really wanted a job where it was just a monotonous sitting at a desk doing the same thing every single day.
Yeah.
So I figured law enforcement was something it would be something different every day. And there's a lot of opportunities in law enforcement you can do. There's multiple jobs in the department.
Well, guys, let's get into our second wing.
It's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
What is your spice tolerance?
Mine's pretty well, I'd say pretty high, but
Mine's built up. I mean, I don't have a level, but I've built up. It's like I said, I didn't start building up with spice until I came to Texas. And I mean, I'm from Wisconsin where we're cheese and
Brats.
fucking dairy. I mean, there ain't no spice up there.
When you got those peppers at your house.
Yeah. And I planted some, when we moved in our house that you sold us. Louis Pacheco, great realtor. So we had want to have this great green thumb and went and bought some peppers at Home Depot.
What are they called?
They're triple X, and like, man, that doesn't, I don't know what the hell that meant. Planted them, they were green. I'm like, they can't be that hot. They're green. Yeah. I took a bite of one. I pulled it off, bit into it, miserable for like an hour straight, just chugging water and milk. And then he came over one day. And I was like, "Hey, you want to try one of these peppers out?"
So you like spice? I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not no bitch. I love spicy."
Didn't even think about it. I was handing him one. Yeah, instant regret. Instant regret.
What's the one thing about your career that you didn't expect, being in law enforcement, Ted?
Honestly, I think getting into homicide as quickly as I did, coming up there with 10, 11 years on, and seeing how many younger officers are coming up into detective bureaus and stuff like that, I think that's kind of what surprised me the most.
Did you expect to have this much fun?
No. And I had a family friend that referred me to Dallas because I was originally wanting to go DEA. I loved the drugs and all that stuff and wanted to be narcotics and all that cool shit. And a good family friend, he worked DEA for years, but he started in Dallas. And he referred me to come down here. And so I was going to work here for a few years and then put in for the DEA. And I wound up falling in love with patrol and never left. And, I look back on it and I'm happy I went the route I did because I've had an absolute blast.
What about you, Philip?
Probably going to homicide. I had no desire to ever go to homicide. If you'd asked me when I was a rookie, what do you want to do in the department? Yeah. It was not homicide. And it just kind of happened that way. We ended up being there. It was one of those things you can't really pass up, for the resume and the experience. And I definitely don't regret that. It's been a good time.
Man, let's get into this third wing.
Oh, ghost pepper action there.
A little spicy.
Got a little zing to it.
Oh, that would have been in my left nostril. Y'all have each been in one bureau as detectives. If you were
That's not the spiciest one. Jesus Christ.
Hey man, you just said you had a high spice.
I know, I'm talking shit, how I love wings and...
this is kind of a funny question, but what would be your least favorite job on the department that, if you, I'll never want to work there?
Probably working the front desk at headquarters. I couldn't do it, man. Props to them, man. Props to them. I'm glad they do it, but just people walking in with just some nonsense a lot.
I would imagine that there's probably some 46s. I mean, you get a whole spectrum of people that come in there.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, they got to have a lot of patience to be in there. Let's get into our fourth wing. I think I'm about to transition to some milk here.
Is this 100% skim?
I think we're at 2%. Are you serious?
He only does almond milk.
Oh. So, I just found out that you're a golfer. What's your handicap?
Yeah.
I'm a +6.
You're
by
6?
the way.
That's not bad.
No, that's a joke. No. I'm probably about 3 over on each hole. I don't know what that equivalents to.
Well, there's home course handicap and then there's other course handicap. Home course, I can go out shoot 72, 73 each time.
What advice would you give a guy like me I'm learning to play. I'm terrible. I'd be embarrassing to be on your team, but is there anything that you would give advice?
Jesus Christ.
You can do it. You can do it.
I would say 80% of your practice needs to be short game.
Short game? Gotcha. You told me you went, how long ago was it you went on a golf trip? You were talking about you went to London.
2018, I went to London. Then we made our way up to Scotland to St. Andrews and we played the old course.
Oh man, how was that?
It was phenomenal. The course sucks because it's just a pasture. It's all it is just a pasture. Mm-hmm. But the experience, and that's the first golf course ever, and there's the history there. It's phenomenal.
Oh wow. Who'd you go with?
My dad.
Is it y'all two?
Some of his buddies too.
Have you and your dad gone on a trip since then?
We haven't actually. No, we haven't. We're planning on going back, but I'm not sure when.
Ted, if people don't know this, but you, it's kind of like your hidden talent, but you do woodworking.
I'm a master of all.
Well, you do a lot of things. You work on cars. You play the guitar.
Woodworking.
Play the banjo. You do some woodworking. I mean,
No, a little banjo, but been playing guitar for 20 plus years. I did woodworking, work on, we got 69 Camaro I've been working on. I like hobbies. I like to stay busy.
yeah.
Jesus, I am fucking miserable.
No, you're good, man. You're good. It's a
My
mind.
nose is running.
Yeah. So is mine.
But I like hobbies outside of work because you got to stay busy. You got to keep your mind off of what we do. And
Being in woodworking, what would you say to a guy who starts out like a starter project?
cutting boards.
Cutting boards?
That is the one of the easiest things to make. But one of the most useful is everybody is cooking, being in Texas, barbecuing, having a good cutting board presentation for cutting, everything. I think it's one of the best things to have on your table.
Funny story. He gave me a cutting board. It was beautiful. It was checkered.
It was.
Multiple
It
wood.
was.
In the dishwasher?
Sure,
Huh?
fucking
You put it in the
did.
dishwasher?
I did
After
not.
I told them,
My roommate, my significant other, my boo, she put it in the dishwasher, not knowing, and that thing came out like a bowl. It was like this.
I specifically told them, don't put it in the dishwasher.
Oh my gosh.
My mouth is on
I'm
fucking
struggling
fire.
now.
We're almost at the end, guys. We're almost there.
I'm
Suck
gonna need
it
to go to
up.
the hospital.
Yeah, it's
Are
fresh.
these hotter?
What's that? No, we go up and down. It's like a mountain. We just up and then we come
I
back
can't go
down.
any higher.
No, we're on the downslope now. We're on the downslope.
Next is this gasoline and fire.
You're good. Guys. We're on the downslope, fellas. My eyes,
Jesus.
my eyes are watering, but I
I
can
mean,
still
it
see.
tastes good, but that heat is fucking miserable.
If we were to talk about bucket list, Ted, what would be on your bucket list and why?
Always wanted to jump out of a plane to go skydiving with or without a parachute. At this point, I would rather go without a fucking parachute. Fuck. I love
Can we
spice.
tandem and do that?
Fuck. No, I've always wanted to go skydiving.
Is that trying to overcome a fear, or is it something just, like something I want
And
to...
I'm an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
My wife and son have done the indoor skydiving. That's, they have a lot of
Oh, yeah, the ice, is it Ice Guy or
I
I Fly?
something
I
like-
Fly.
So we went. I thought my ass was too fat to go because we went on the website and I was like, I'm a little too heavy to do it. We got done. The guy's like, oh no, you totally could have done that. He's like, some places are a little lenient because they don't need, you remember Twister, the cow that flies around? So I was afraid
Yeah.
of being in there. But this guy's like, no, you could totally have done it. I was like, fuck, I wish I would have known that.
How close have you gotten to making that trip happen? Like, have you gotten...
I've looked. We just haven't committed to it, but I definitely want to do it. I want to definitely do it.
What's your bucket list, Philip?
Probably be a trip to go to Tanzania
Yeah,
in Africa. Just backstory of that. My mother grew up there.
that's fucking bad.
She grew up there, so she used to tell us stories about, just crazy stuff, the giraffes, all that stuff in her backyard, outside her bedroom window. We're going to do the trip together, but she passed away in 2018, so now it's like me and my sister, we're going to go do that just to kind of see how she grew up and, kind of honor her that way.
Man, I'm sorry to hear about
Yeah,
your mom.
yeah, she had breast cancer.
Have you started the plans yet or anything like that?
No, we actually kind of just haven't. It's, we got plenty of time, obviously, but
How did your mom end up growing up in Tanzania? That's kind of,
my grandfather was a missionary, so he went over there and did mission, and, they lived over there for like 7 years or something like that.
So she spent a good chunk of her childhood
yeah,
out there.
yeah, she did.
Gotcha. Did she go to school, like high school in the States?
Yeah, she came back here. She came back when she was like 12, maybe
Yeah.
maybe a little younger. I'm not exactly sure. But
Yeah. Oh, man.
yeah, she moved to Texas.
That's phenomenal. That sounds like an
Oh yeah, it'd be great. It'd be really
Yeah.
great.
Let's take a bite of her last wing.
I hope this is hotter.
Oh, dude, I will.
That's good flavor.
Yeah, we're on the downslope, bro. We're on downslope.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm miserable right
I'm
now.
struggling pretty bad right now.
You guys good?
No.
We're fine. Come on, suck it up. Fucking sissies.
You know those little bird bites you got over there.
No. The only one.
I'm calling you out right now.
Fuck y'all. The only one I know that fucks me up is this one. That fucking hurts. All right, guys, we're gonna get into our rapid fire questions. The question will be pertaining to, who's most likely to what, and then you will raise the side that you feel that person would be. All right, you ready, guys? Ready? All right. Who's most likely to cheat in a card game?
Cheat in a card game?
Yeah, who's most likely to cheat in a card game? Who's most likely to catch their suspect in a game of hide and seek?
Now I got a good story for that.
Oh, let me hear it. I love it.
We were over by 216, and some guys had taken off in a car or some shit. They bailed from it, and they bailed into a backyard that had a bunch of random abandoned vehicles, which is really fucking random. And they're old, like rusted up. And the two guys that took off were big dudes, like chubby dudes. And we had like 15 officers back there looking for them, and we're clearing all these cars, couldn't find them, which was embarrassing. And finally, I don't know what caught my eye, but I was looking back at one of these old cars, and they had a rolled up carpeting. It was real random. And I happened to see the one dude back there.
Who's most likely to leave their shopping cart in the parking lot?
Fuck that. I refuse. That is my biggest pet peeve in the world.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I will walk that motherfucker a mile to put it up.
All right, who scores better on the yearly pistol quals? Who's a better shooter?
I'd probably say Phil.
Better
I think we're
shooter.
both pretty
We're
good,
about the same.
but I think he shoots a little bit better than me.
Gotcha. Who's more likely to cuss out their boss at work?
Boom! Did it.
I watched it live. Hey, it wasn't just his boss, it was his boss's boss.
Yeah. Did it.
I watched it go down.
You cuss out your
I
boss.
asked them if we could talk man to man, and it turned into about a 45-minute cuss session. And see, I'm usually really good with like supervisors. Like, I have no problem. I do and say, will do whatever supervisors say. I respect them. But this was a situation that it pissed me off, and I was like, well, "Can we talk man to man, not supervisor to officer?" And he's like, "Yeah." Yeah, that was a mistake.
All right, who's most likely to leave here today and have hot wings tonight?
This fucker, he eats them at work. I'm pretty sure the fucker will eat them in his sleep.
He's gonna. They might not be this
Except
spicy.
that fucking thing
They
right
won't.
there,
They
man.
might not be this spicy.
Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. But well, guys, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, man. I really appreciate you guys being on. That's our show. Thank you for watching, guys, and stay tuned for one of our next episodes.